So, and how can a corporate structure inadvertently create a legacy trap for their heirs?
So, like what I said, I don't, at least my own personal view is I don't think the corporate structure is the issue that creates a legacy trap. The legacy trap or whatever nomenclature you apply to it, the problem that arises, it arises only because after you choose the corporate structure, you don't plan ahead, and that causes a legacy trap. And that causes trips up for you. So in that same situation that I told you earlier, they did plan ahead, the public listed company, right? The grandfather actually had a will already and the shares were all clearly divided. But the issue is with planning ahead, but also with continuing planning ahead and also building on what you just said earlier, is not just planning ahead, but it's also making known your intentions. And so you may go to a very well-established lawyer, you draft a very detailed to the granular level, well-drafted will, 10, 20 pages long, but you don't share these intentions with your beneficiaries or your executor, you don't explain your wishes clearly. And then you take that will, you put it under your pillow, and then you sleep for the next 10 years. One day you pass away, no one can find your will. Everybody fighting over which will is the last will. They find your last will, no one can agree whether that's really your intentions or not because you have not communicated it with anyone. So like what you said, the transparency when dealing with our legacy matters with the relevant stakeholders would also be important also.
Right, so I think it's also based on the number of beneficiaries that one may have. Right, so I think one of the concern of those shares that is passed down through a family business, it continuously dilute the shares through different families, and probably with the more beneficiaries, I think it creates a potential area where more conflicts may arise in that sense.
Yes. But it again depends what the business owner wants, I guess. Because like what I said earlier, one way to structure your business is really to keep it within the family. We have done a case also before where it's a probate fight, but actually that probate fight relates to shares because that's what we mainly do. And it creates problems even if you have a situation where the founder or the business owner is trying to keep the business within the family. Because number one, if you try to keep it within the family, bound to be disputes. But again, disputes can happen with family and non-family members anyway. But the other problem is also you start to create an environment where you are really in an echo chamber. An echo chamber means you say something and there's no counter voices. You just keep hearing what you say echoing back at you because everybody's in agreement. So there's no real growth for your company also. But I'm not saying all family businesses are not going to grow, but that is at least one of the problems that a business owner will have to contend with, whether it's really the right decision to make or not, to confine it within the family. And does it really dilute the shareholding or that family power within the company? I don't think so. You structure it properly and correctly. You make certain restrictions on whether you can issue more paid up capital. I don't think the issue of diluting the shareholding would be too much of a problem, but that's not the problem. The bigger problem is whether within that small family pool, you're going to have enough talent to make sure that the company can grow for the next 10, 20, 30 years. And typically it won't be the case. 富不过三代.